In the early days, people looked at digital marketing like a project. You could check the box on social media and then move back to other more productive parts of your day. It doesn't really work that way. There are so many ways to reach the affluent online. It takes constant experimentation, fueled by a desire to stay current and top of mind with the affluent in your area. So where do you get started? Generally, in terms of order of operations, it makes sense to start with your website. It's where people arrive if they click on a link in Google. It's how people find you if referred to you by a friend or a center of influence. It's where you're sending traffic from your social channels and or advertising campaigns. So your website is really important, both because it gets that volume of traffic and because it's so influential in shaping perceptions. When somebody arrives at your website, you want the immediate reaction to think, polished, professional, I could see that person managing my money. Next, you would move on to content, social networks, and email newsletters. And all of these work hand in hand. The content you create, your videos, your articles, your podcast, they breathe life into your social channels. They give people a reason to open your email newsletters. So if you're not producing a regular stream of content right now, I suggest you get into it. Video for me is the most untapped for financial professionals. Video is the most engaging on social networks. And guess what? We've all become more comfortable on camera. Video conferencing is now the norm. So we've had some experience here. Now my encouragement to you is to capture that video in recorded format. When you're thinking about your social networks and involvement there with LinkedIn and Facebook, not only are you able to bring forth video content, you're able to engage with people from afar. So I can learn about you as my client, prospect, or COI from afar. I can see what's happening in your life. And vice versa, you can feel like you know me better by having followed some of my profiles as well. And lastly, with email newsletters, I can stay in front of you in a nice and not intrusive way with a monthly newsletter. I can share some ideas with you that have been relevant to other clients. I can show you what's happening behind the scenes at our office, showing you that we're nice people, we give back, we're always learning, we're always working on something within our office. I can do all of that in a non-intrusive way. Finally, when you've got a solid website, when you've got social channels that are getting interaction, when you've got a newsletter that's keeping people in the loop, it's time to shift your focus to paid marketing. How do I advertise through LinkedIn? How do I advertise through Facebook in a way that makes certain that every single affluent person, who I think is an ideal client in my geography, knows who I am, sees that I'm professional, and sees me as somebody who's a viable solution for financial advice? That's what paid marketing brings to the table. Scale. I can reach 50 people today, or I can reach 5,000 people today. It all depends on my budget. So we all start somewhere when it comes to building a digital presence. You're at a different place in your digital marketing journey than nearly everybody else out there. So think specific to your opportunities, specific to your current setup. Where can you improve? What's next? If this past year you revamped the website, maybe it's time to get into video. If you've gotten into video, maybe it's time to get into paid advertising. Be curious, experiment, and over time, you're building a digital presence that represents you as an elite financial professional.